Sorry, I already hit that live button.
Oh.
But keep trying. We like to experiment live on air. I think you just made it worse. Now I don't hear you at all, Animal.
Come on, buddy.
Ooh.
Get it together.
The roadcast.
Wait.
Too much.
Huh?
All right, that should be good. I got rid of the roadcaster. I don't know what's going on. I have professional equipment here, and none of it works, so that's cool. Something
There we
brand,
go.
I guess.
You're coming in.
Yeah, I'll just talk into the shitty MacBook mic.
Oh,
That sounds pretty good, to be honest with you.
relax.
I'm like Snacks now.
Except a little clearer. Actually, I don't know who's clearer out of you two. Snacks' camera looks a little more clear.
I think I just got bad lighting. I don't know how to do lighting either. I don't know how to do anything.
You live in a
It sucks.
dungeon. It makes sense that you don't.
All right.
light
Let me get this chat up.
Yeah. It's on the chat.
See what we got. Do you guys want to talk about that thing I sent? The first thing about the two-way players. Did you think of any? Like Shohei Ohtani, he's sweeping the MLB. Everyone's talking about him. He's a two-way player. He's pitching and he's hitting. So imagine the NFL. Who would be the NFL's version of that player, or who could have that role as an offensive and defensive player, other than Derrick Henry, running back, linebacker, running back, defensive end? That's just an obvious one.
I mean, Julio and Larry Fitzgerald, easy picks here. You know, Fitz. Have you ever heard that stat that Fitz has more tackles in his career than he does
safeties?
drop passes?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Or honestly, you could probably put.
I mean, that's actually insane because he's been in the league for so long.
I know.
He's also had a. No, I thought it was Julio, or no, maybe it was.
No,
Fitz.
Julio. Everyone just keeps putting.
He has like a highlight reel of tackles.
Every 6 months, you just see the highlight reel of Julio tackling people on Twitter.
Yeah,
It's fucking incredible.
I think DK Metcalf would be a great linebacker, defensive end.
Well, so I was going to say, does DK have the lateral movement to be a safety and play on defense and but backwards? He runs straight forward really fast. But what about backpedaling and all that?
I think
all pro.
We all saw Gronk. Remember Gronk tried to play safety in the Dolphins game? Didn't work out too well. Remember that? No?
Yeah, I don't think he was lining up against the wide receivers though.
He was literally at the goal line. He was at the goal line.
Couldn't make the tackle. Couldn't get that.
One of those fucking idiot kids in the home run derby. By the way, that was my dream as a kid. I wanted to be one of the outfield kids in the home run derby so fucking bad.
Oh, and just catch the balls that don't make it though. That's kind of cool.
It'd be sick, yeah. But I feel you have to know 6 people to get in there.
Yeah. All right. What about Lamar Jackson playing quarterback and then switching sides and playing cornerback? He's very athletic. He's long.
He was supposed to be a cornerback when he came in the league, right? That's what they were trying him out for at the combine.
I heard running back, but maybe.
Well, I mean, he could fucking play anyway. He could play special teams. How about a kick returner? Probably be electric.
Honestly, he'd probably be better as a cornerback than he is a quarterback. So.
Well, I don't know about that. He's a pretty good quarterback. As much as you hate the guy,
I don't hate him. I just think he's a running back, not a quarterback. I don't think he can throw the ball. I don't hate Lamar Jackson.
While I was doing this,
I don't hate anybody.
It got me to thinking. Imagine the value of a college quarterback coming out of college who's also a kicker. Imagine a guy a two-way guy like that, where he's a quarterback like a Trevor Lawrence, but he could also kick a 50-yard field goal. You save so much on. Well, not really, because you don't really.
The problem with that is every kicker.
Pay a kicker $1 million. A lot of cap space you save.
Every kicker also sucks.
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine that's an extra roster spot for your team, maybe for defense, for an offensive lineman, for that quarterback.
That's not.
And then just the fact that, that would be electric. Imagine how many points he would be the all-time scorer if he played 10 years.
It would be pretty sick to have that. Although I think people go nuts about roster spots. It's 53-man active roster, and I feel like NFL teams act as if roster spot is pure diamonds. It's oh my God, we saved a fucking roster spot. I'm dude, it's going to be a 7th-string defensive end that doesn't see the fucking field anyways.
Dude, you don't know that.
I do know that. I know that for a fact.
What if it's a Super Bowl competing team? They bring in a veteran that was going to retire.
Isaiah Simmons at tight end. He actually might be a better tight end than he is a linebacker.
There's probably a lot of really good defensive ends that could play tight end. I feel like playing tight end is really not that fucking hard.
I had a couple
Catch
of
the
guys
damn ball.
actually. Like
Well, if you
that.
played basketball in high school and college, you're going to be a stud tight end. So
I had Von Miller.
No.
Defensive end, tight end. What do you mean?
He doesn't seem like an offensive athlete kind of guy. He just seems like a bull.
Yeah, imagine him just running a fucking straight fly route as right down the seam.
Seems like someone that would hit him in the hands and then just bop right off his fucking forehead.
You haven't seen him, please. He can catch. He's a very athletic man. Obviously,
he's in the NFL.
Yeah,
there's a difference between like being athletic though and having really good hand-eye coordination. Who do you?
Why
think?
do I look
he's
sober?
made
Because
great
it's 1
interceptions
o'clock
on the defensive side of the ball.
I think
question.
Von
Miller is easily a candidate.
Who do you think are the most athletic athletes in the world? I think
golfers.
People who are at like the top of their sport, like all things equal. Who do you think it is? I feel like it's baseball players. I feel like it's 100%. Dude,
talking about straight up athletics.
I'm talking about just like, yeah, like I mean, not just sprinting a straight line. Yeah, I think skill wise, like
their skill is more difficult than any sport. Yeah,
I think hand-eye coordination goes a long way. Like I bet if you take
you got to put hockey players up there too.
I'm not talking about like pitchers. I'm not talking about like fat catchers. I'm talking about probably like middle infielders, center fielders. Those guys probably translate the best. If you're talking about translation to other sports, take a middle infielder or center fielder. That's good. I bet they could play point guard. I bet they could play wide receiver, no doubt. But if you put a wide receiver like at shortstop, or if you put a wide receiver, I mean, some are obviously good multi-sport athletes, but I feel like the most translatable are baseball players.
It's tough because every sport is so different. Like, can they handle the physicality of some of these sports? Like, how deep are we going here? I could talk about this for like a whole episode if we really want to.
It is a good point about baseball because you've seen like Dion and Michael Jordan and these guys
swing a bat,
go try and play baseball and they're terrible. Completely terrible. Baseball players go try and play football or basketball. They could probably have some semblance of success.
I feel like
that's not
most sports like really heavily rely around hand-eye coordination, like being able to move your hands really, really fast and catch balls at a very quick rate, and process things at a quick rate. And that's like baseball at its fucking peak. Like, sure, you could be strong in football and be fucking Von Miller, but put him in center field, he's probably fucking trash.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting conversation. All right, let's see the chat. With the chat, hockey players underrated.
I could see hockey players being good too.
Oh yeah, they're freaks.
The only problem is they do everything on ice, so like I don't know if that's an advantage or a disadvantage because they're not used to. I don't know.
Prediction on Danny Dimes this season? MVP
minimum
of the Super Bowl.
Devin White, a lot of Kenton in line, but LeBron. Don't bring up LeBron, please. We don't talk. Oh, speaking of LeBron, Space Jam 2 came out today. Need to know who's watching it, and if you did, thoughts on it. Maybe Snacks is coming over tonight to watch it. We're very
Snacks.
excited.
What did you think of it?
First of all, I'm not going over your house to watch Space Jam 2. Second of all, I will never watch Space Jam 2. Third of all, I read a tweet of an article that said it's like the worst movie ever made. So,
well, I saw a comment that said it was the best.
Well, it was probably somebody that sucks LeBron off.
I'm gonna guess it's somewhere in the middle of best and worst movie of all time.
You could usually Medi Ian had a great trailer. Everybody thought that was gonna be a great movie. Most movies have great trailers.
Was
Space
the trailer
Jam 2's
for
trailer
Space Jam
was
good?
Terrible.
Yeah,
it was
like
terrible. The trailer was terrible, and that's non-biased.
Aaron Judge can't play any other sport.
The entire audience is just going to be fucking dudes who watched the first Space Jam that are like taking their kids to see it. Like no one our age wants to see the new Space Jam.
I don't want to see it, but I'm going to watch it. I have to. It's like part
Why
of.
do you have?
Why watch it when you could just see the fucking red carpet pictures of Zendaya and be done with it?
It's a duty to the sports world, whether you like it or not. You have to watch it.
That's fake news. That's farcical.
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
It's not. It's true. Listen, if you're gonna talk about sports on the internet, you got to watch Space Jam.
We don't talk about basketball. We talk about football.
It's gonna be a trending hot topic for the next week, maybe longer. And if you don't see it, how do you get in on it?
If that's what you're gonna do, spend your Friday night doing, then God bless
Nick,
you.
what are you doing tonight?
I got a thing.
He's going to drink Margs.
I got a thing.
Well, is it watching Space Jam in my house?
Absolutely fucking not.
I don't think I'm tough. First of all, I'm not tough. I'm a little bitch, Parker. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, no shit. I'd get my ass beat by anyone. Well, this is not being tough. This is just my aggressive nature. Parker,
Snack,
hi.
If you want to talk in the chat, just type in the
Parker,
chat.
hi. How do you do
Snacks,
that?
type in the chat if you want to talk shit.
How do you do that?
Just type it. Go
What
to
do you mean,
YouTube,
just
go to the
Is that
video,
actually Parker and his Abby?
mute it. Question for Snacks from Scott.
No.
Is the NBA too soft? And please,
It's the softest. It's the softest sport in professional sports
fair.
by far. Did you guys watch some of that officiating? Like, have you watched the officiating? The Knicks are out of the playoffs because of the officiating. So
We're having a Space Jam tonight, everybody. It's going to be a good time. Space Jam 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern
Animal,
time.
you want to throw your address up in the chat?
Contaminated dungeon. I'll have to think about that. You DM me, and maybe I'll give you a special ticket to get
Animal,
in.
if I come over, you shave my unibrow later.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah,
Jesus.
holy shit,
All right,
Snacks. What are you doing, bro?
Do we want to
Who am I trying to impress?
Did you text the community or whatever for questions, Nick?
I did, yeah.
All right,
was I supposed to gather them?
I mean, we could do that, or we could get some questions from the chat here. Go back and forth, maybe. I don't know if you want to give yourself some time to get some of those up while we go through the chat here. Start the actual fancy portion of the show. We'll do a little fancy talk. It actually doesn't have to be fancy, but you know, it can be.
All right.
I have Animal's address. No, you don't, Callie. No, you might. You might.
Definitely does.
He definitely does. If anyone wants it, DM me.
Snacks brow and Anthony Davis unibrow. Not a bad idea, Snacks. You should keep the brow. You could be like the brow,
No.
the brow too.
No.
Which one of you has the worst take in music? I'm gonna go ahead and say myself because I'm not a big music guy.
The worst take in music?
Taste.
I would say taste. Animal.
I feel like Nick
For sure.
listens to good music and puts me on some good songs every once in a while because you have the vlogs and stuff. So you always finding, or used to be finding shit. Definitely not Nick.
Yeah, now Tony takes over the vlogs and just strictly puts 90s hip hop in it. He loves it too. He's like, dude, my music taste is superior to everything, and it's always because anyone who's like aged 40 or above just compliments him on his music in the comments of every vlog. I'm like, we need more pop. We need a little bit more pop, Tony. We need more pop to make the vlogs pop.
Tony's not good at this. I think he should be fired.
What do you think I do every day? I fucking always fire him. He just shows up. He knows all the codes to my apartment.
Well, I got a question here.
I know a guy who could kill him.
Manuel Gonzalez. Manuel, is that how I say it? Manuel Gonzalez. Friends and I love live in-person auction draft, but life is starting to get in the way. How do you guys deal with it? This is actually a good question because drafts are coming up. So how do you still maintain a live draft when you're getting older and everyone's schedules become a problem? So we do the same day every year. That way everyone knows it. If you can't do that, I would just suggest do Zoom. Do it through Zoom.
Labor Day Monday.
Fun,
you find a day. We need to have our E-Town Get Down meetings. The Animal, you got to do your.
We
punishment.
do.
We got to do a lot of things. Find a day that nobody can have an excuse for, aka Labor Day Monday. People can't be like, "Oh, I'm traveling," because everyone gets home that day. "Oh, I have work." No, you fucking don't. It's Labor Day. There you go. Find a day that works for the majority of people. So if you can find a place that you guys can get together with the majority, and then there's like 3 or 4 people that can't make it, have them Zoom in or something. But get a day where at least you're probably, if you're older, you're not going to find a day or a night where you can get 12 people together. And I realize that might be
once
tough.
you start getting to the 28, 30, year old, people start having other priorities, kids and families and shit. So
yeah, it might be tough. It might be tough doing auction too because everything's kind of like on the go. But what you could do, like how we have our draft board, like a live draft board where you're actually putting the stickers onto it. If you're going to do an auction draft like that, I haven't done them live like that. I'm sure you should probably be using some kind of software on the internet so that the people, in case it like disconnects or something, anyone who's doing auction bidding can like put it onto the internet so people that are there in person can see it and people that are on the phone or Zoom can actually see it in real time too as the bids go up. If that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Love that.
Let's see. Ignore Cali Dog.
We have a lot of things here from the community. I can't really fucking go through them all. There's so many.
That's fine. Let's see. Zach Ertz. Nah, who cares about Zach Ertz? Who's winning the E-Town Get Down this year? We don't want to get into that right now. Is Ruggs going to
Well,
break
we know
out?
who-
we know who's not going to win.
You know how that conversation is going to end.
We know who's not going to win.
Yeah.
What's the easiest over/under on NFL teams wins it for this season? I haven't looked at them, but I know.
What's the
Broncos
Texans? Just go under. I don't think they win a game.
Well, I think they win one, but I think the Broncos are going to be a great value because they're definitely being slept on right now. So definitely whatever the Broncos over is. I think it's 7.5.
What is your guys' take on stacking in redraft? And stacking meaning like putting a quarterback with a receiver or a tight end or whatever it is.
Well, it depends who it is.
It's all about value. Like, you can't force the stack. I'm not a guy that's going to force a stack and take a guy just because I have the stack when there's better guys on the board still.
If it's a tiebreaker, are you stacking or are you indifferent?
If it's a tiebreaker, yeah, the stack breaks the tie, obviously.
Yeah, I would stack in a tiebreaker. I got burned in the stack when at E-Town, I think 3 years ago. So I've been shy of it ever since.
You double stacked it. Then you go Matt Ryan, Julio, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae.
Yeah, and I got burned.
Oh, double stack. Yeah, that's dangerous.
It is dangerous. I mean, I was pretty fucking excited though. I can't lie. And then all of a sudden everything just went.
Question for Snacks: where does Davis rank in BDG org? Snacks, you know who Davis is?
Who the fuck is Davis?
No chance.
Love that.
I barely know who he is.
Who is Davis? What? Scott, come on.
He does the TikToks and stuff for big dogs.
We know who Davis is.
I had to delete TikTok.
Davis is number 2 on the list, probably. Number 2 in the org.
He's also in one of the chats. You should know him. Is Cortland
I barely
Sutton
know who
back?
Tony is.
Paid up for him in a Dynasty startup. This is an interesting thing. I saw something today, actually, that intrigued me as a Broncos fan. I think a lot of it's going to depend on the quarterback situation. Not talking about Rodgers, talking about between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. What happens there? Because I think with Drew Lock, it's definitely good for Sutton. But with Teddy Bridgewater, I would worry because Teddy doesn't really throw the long ball. And that's kind of Sutton's game. So, thoughts?
I don't care.
I feel like Sutton's too good to fail. I'm a little bit worried that he's going to disappoint in redraft this year. Like, I think he'll have a nice year, and you'll be like, all right, Sutton's fucking bike. But then we'll be like, we're all in on him next year, not this upcoming year.
It won't be a points per game season. It'll be like he'll have a couple big games and finish nice.
Yeah, it's like we have to depend on Drew Lock being under center in order for us to like Sutton, and like that in itself is kind of a catch-22. It's like
because Lock stinks.
Sutton and Lock had a good rapport going, man.
I feel like
Lock's
he was really bad when Lock was
chucked it up.
I feel like Lock was terrible when or Sutton was terrible when Lock took over the last 5 games.
No, he was just chucking it deep, catching every ball, making crazy catches, circus freak.
It's one of those.
So, guys, you hear that? That's why the Broncos have great value this year. They have a quarterback who just throws it up.
Well, we're also assuming Aaron Rodgers isn't there, which he will be. So,
yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. This chat's actually popping.
I can't keep up.
This chat's bumping. What do we got? Tyreek and a trade question. Tyreek and a third, or Michael Thomas and a first.
Ooh,
that's a good one. Wow.
I'm most
Tyreek.
I'm most likely going to take Hill. Yeah. I think the gap there is a little bit too significant, especially in the age range too. And we like Michael Thomas to bounce back, but we don't know what's going on there. Unless for sure that's like a top 5 rookie pick, then I'm probably just going to stick with Tyreek.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you can pass up on Tyreek.
Don't get cute.
He's in his year 2 or 3 of his prime right now. So just ride it out.
Do our Falcons win more than 4 games this year? Probably not.
Hell yeah. Hells yeah. I just wrote a poem about Matt Ryan, by the way. So it's good. It's good for him.
Well, if you wrote a poem about him, I think he lasts maybe 6 games because he's mushed.
Oh, I'm going to stay away from this. It's too much Bronco talk. Godwin or Montgomery in full PPR keeper league. Already keeping CMC, Chubb, McLaurin, and A-Rob.
I'm taking Montgomery there.
I keep the running back always.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
if they're top tier guys.
All those guys, damn.
You got to keep the running back.
If that guy doesn't win, I don't think he should play fantasy football anymore.
Yeah, it's a stacked roster. Plus, you already got a couple good wide receivers that they'll all perform about the same. I like Demon a lot now that we're hearing the reports of Tariq Cohen's fucking knee being geriatric, and it's
Oh,
not.
you cocksucking mother.
What's going on, buddy?
You all right, Snacks?
Nah, whatever.
What's wrong? Let's talk about it.
No, because if I bring it up, you guys go, "Oh, okay." So I'm not gonna.
Okay, that's fair.
My fantasy
All
baseball
right,
team
here's
just took another hit.
a popular topic I've seen a lot,
We don't
actually, going around Twitter.
Cocksucker.
Adam Troutman. Just thoughts. What do you got? Are you excited? You think there's a chance he can break out or have a decent year this year? Fantasy.
I think there's a chance for a decent year. I don't know about like what's breaking out. I mean, obviously anything is pretty much better than last year, but I think if you're not going one of those high end tight ends and you want to take a tight end later on, I'm all right with it. Rolling the dice on Big Adam.
I do feel like the Trout, like everybody's on board with Troutman as a sleeper to the point where he's kind of like shot up the ADP a little bit, and he's coming off a year where he had like 150 receiving yards. I'm like, all right, he could literally like 3 to 4x his production and still not be a good fantasy tight end. I just feel like we're projecting a massive jump where I feel like if you're a Troutman guy, he can go from like 150 to 500. And then you'll be like, oh, okay, that was a big jump up, but still suck for fantasy. And then the next year is like the year that we probably want to be on him. So I think we're still a little bit early on Troutman.
You know who I'm on this year, tight end wise?
Jimmy Graham.
Evan Ingram.
Are you back on fucking Ingram?
I am. Everybody, he is just nobody wants.
Is it a
piece of
value
him at
thing,
all.
or is it you just?
That's strictly what it is. All the targets, and I'm just going to count that he can catch the ball. And where he's going now, he just keeps plummeting. Why not?
I think I'm all in on a DJ Galladay Evan Ingram stack. Let's do
Huge.
it, Snacks. Let's fucking run it.
Huge.
All right, we got a
Huge.
super chat from Preston. This is a big one. It's a long one. I'm gonna throw up on the screen. Let me minimize it a little.
Oh yeah, please.
Press with the fire Julio Abby. You'd love to see that. Nope, don't do that, sir.
Well, he's not on the Falcons anymore, so.
Okay, half PPR Dynasty. Should I make any moves as my squad stands? Okay, so I'm assuming it's one quarterback because he didn't say super flex.
Yeah, because if it's two, you better make a move for a quarterback.
Watson and Tannehill. You'll be fine with Tannehill as your quarterback if Watson's not there. Running backs, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, CEH, and Dobbins. Wow, that's a nice little stack of sophomores. A.J. Brown, Calvin Ridley, Chris Godwin, T. Higgins with no firsts.
No, you don't make any moves.
It's
a pretty damn good roster right there.
I do. That's a really nice young roster.
I think his worry is like it's Watson probably. Like, do I move?
Well,
him?
if that's a super flex, then he should probably take one of those receivers or maybe one of those backs and try and get a quarterback because then he's fucked.
In a one quarterback league, though, like
one quarterback, no.
Watson
I'm saying if it's a super flex.
Yeah, I don't think
if it's one quarterback league, you don't
think
touch
so
it
either,
because I'm all in on Watson. I think he's not gonna play this year, maybe, but he's gonna play. He's gonna be in the NFL. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays this year. I wouldn't be surprised. So
what are you looking at for in terms of picks right now? Because you have obviously. I mean, in terms of like, give us your starting lineup and give us the picks because right now you got 4 startable running backs and you got 4 startable wide receivers. But if you're in like a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, and the fact that you're playing 1 quarterback tells me that you're probably not like the league itself is probably not too progressive, so you're probably not running out like 3 flex spots or whatever. So give us a little more info there, Preston.
I would try and trade.
I was going to say I'd package.
I would try and trade Swift for like maybe an older running back and like a second round pick or something like that. See if someone wants to get a little bit younger. Like maybe you can trade Swift for a Derrick Henry in a third or something. Maybe someone, there's people out there that are not high on Derrick Henry in Dynasty. So
that's what I was thinking too. Like move one of these younger running backs, move a Swift or a Dobbins or a CH. Like all of them are getting significant hype right now.
Like one of them's gonna bust. Like you can't have all of them. One of them's bust.
Move one of them for like an RB2 and a first round if you want to get a little.
Some draft capital.
If you want to get a little future, but it looks like you can kind of go for it right now because really,
dude, his future's fine. They're all young.
That's the only guy that worries me if you're trying to compete. I just think with the Lions, they're going to throw it a ton.
Yeah, but it just makes sense to move one of the running backs if you're only starting 2 of them.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice squad though. Good job, Preston. Good job.
Never Lions running back. That's a golden rule. All right, what do we got? Damn, there's so many to read. Reading's tough. Should I scroll up? Scroll down?
Tannehill is
way too close to the camera. I'm trying to read.
I can't read good.
Is Damian Williams a threat to Montgomery? Damian Williams still in the league?
He got signed by Chicago. I think Khalil Herbert's a better running back than Damian Williams at this point. I mean, he missed the year for COVID. and now he's just kind of sitting back there. Damian Williams is a guy that could honestly, he has just as high of a chance to get cut as he does make the fucking team.
Actually,
the fact that
playing,
Trey Cohen is kind of injured, it's a little bit difficult.
When do we see Justin Fields, by the way?
All right, he said 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 2 flexes.
Okay, so then you're pretty much playing all your running backs.
Trade Swift.
I would look to move 1 running back for a little bit less hyped running back and a pick. That's what I would do. If you can't, it's not the worst in the world because you could still start all 4 running backs, worst case scenario. But I think you could probably get a little bit more value to push for that chip this year. Nick, you close to Jersey City. Well, these 2 are in Jersey. We're probably like equidistance away from Jersey City.
Yeah, it's probably pretty close.
No, you're quicker.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
With the train path, you're right there. It's 40 minutes for us.
Yeah, I guess I'm relatively close to Jersey City.
First basket in Game 5 of the Suns-Bucks game, I'm going with DeAndre Ayton. It's probably going to be plus 500. Might even be plus 600 because he hasn't hit the first basket yet in this finals, and he's due. So there you go. There's that. Josh. Dynasty startup question. Most crucial settings to implement for a successful season. Kind of like that.
I saw that, but I didn't actually know what the fuck it meant.
Oh, I think he's asking like
from a commissioner standpoint?
You're not going to change the settings throughout the league. So like crucial settings as in like scoring or like tight end premium, stuff like that.
Okay, so
I'm assuming.
Yeah, so definitely run it super flex. And I've done 2 startups this offseason, and I love the scoring settings that we did for them, and I don't know if I'm going to want to ever go back to them. It's a tiered PPR where it's half point for running back, full point for wide receiver, and 1.5 for tight ends. So it kind of takes out, I mean, the edge still goes to the top end running backs, but it takes out a little bit of the edge because tight ends get a full PPR point more than running backs, and we start 3 wide receivers. So not only does that help with like a little bit of the positional scarcity wide receiver over running back, but the full PPR for wide receiver is kind of big as well. So I really like the running back, wide receiver, tight end. I also think it'd be fun to do like a 0.2 or 0.25 per carry as well. So it makes those guys who get a shitload of carries like, you know, if you're just like, all he does is get carries, it's kind of boring, but it makes those guys a little bit more valuable. Like Derrick Henry will never catch up to a C-Mac in points per game.
Yeah.
Because they'll never catch enough passes. But if you do a little 0.2 per carry, like Derrick Henry gets into that Dalvin Cook range where I feel like he should be because he's, you know, just as valuable from a real life and fantasy perspective. So those are kind of my thing. I think it goes with starting lineup, roster construction, and scoring, I guess.
That would blow my mind, I think, the point per carry. It would put my mind in a pretzel.
Just keep it really, really minimal. Like, don't do like 1 point per carry. But if you do like 0.2, then you just get, you know, slight tiny edge.
It's a little extra bang for your buck. Yeah.
You make an extra 2 points a game. You know.
Yeah.
It just helps out.
My mind's already in a
like I like the first down one where you point per first down or half point for a first down because
we did that once in E-Town, right?
Yeah, we did that one year. I like that actually.
And then it went away after a year.
Yeah.
No kickers, no defenses. I don't actually care about kickers, but defenses, no.
I honestly don't hate the defense.
No, it's defense and dynasty.
Kickers, I can't. Kickers, no go on kickers.
I hate defense in fantasy football just in general. I think.
Why? Because
I can never get it right.
We got super chat from You Like That. We have 10-man half PPR, 6th pick.
You like that? Sorry.
10-man half PPR, 6th pick. Should I go running back with Taylor or Zeke or take the first wide receiver off the board with Hill, then 2 running backs for 3 and 4? I would definitely go with running back over wide receiver, and I like Zeke over Taylor. So Zeke would be my pick if he's sitting there at 6.
This is
not
Dynasty. What is this?
I'm assuming it's not Dynasty, no.
If it's not Dynasty, I'll go Zeke. If it's Dynasty, you got to go Taylor.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm going Taylor both ways. Zeke
I love
sucks.
Zeke this year, man. I think he's super undervalued.
Yeah, I know. His whole offensive line's back.
I'm pretty fucking in on Zeke this year.
And he looks good, too. I know everybody looks good, but he don't look like a fat fuck.
He doesn't.
He's like chiseled.
You don't look at him for the first time being like, why is he a chubby ass running back? Like Zeke, you should be in decent shape considering you're getting paid $50 million. And
right, like I knew Barkley's legs are huge. I knew Austin Eckler is a genetic freak. Zeke actually looked like he transformed his body this offseason with a whole new offensive line. And you guys are coming from the biggest Cowboy hater ever. So Zeke is definitely going to be a beast this year.
Yeah, but that doesn't worry you guys at all, that his new body is going to maybe react a little differently. Remember, Syndergaard, didn't he get like jacked and then back muscles got torn and shit when he was throwing?
What,
little
he's throwing the ball 99 miles an hour
Just saying.
with a
Just
new
saying.
body instead of running up the middle. No.
Yeah, maybe that belly kept his fucking little extra layer of protection. Maybe now he's gonna.
It's possible.
pop
It's
an
possible
ab.
that Zeke gets hurt if he's a little too skinny. But I don't know, dude. He's got a lot. He
doesn't
had a
look
little bit
that
of weight to work
skinny,
with.
though.
Yeah. I like Zeke there. Scott has another question for Animal. In Dynasty, who do you recommend as buy low this year? Jalen Reagor or DeAndre Swift?
Are those the two options?
No, I just asked that.
No,
Seeing
he
if you
just
had any,
put it
if
in
that
there.
enticed you, if that tickled your little pickle there.
I mean, between those two, I would definitely go with Rager because you can
He
get
didn't
him way
actually ask
cheaper.
that. He just meant in general.
Just a general and buy low. If we're talking like real low here, like 15th round, like I'm looking at like a Christian Kirk or something like that.
Ooh,
A
you
guy
like
that
Kirk?
no one is touching.
I'm
No
back
one
in
wants
on.
him.
I'm in on AJ Green this year.
That's why I'm on Christian Kirk because AJ Green's gonna have like the first 4 games look great and then just fucking plummet.
That's
and
enough
suck.
for me. That's more
Christian
great games
Kirk.
than he's had in the last 3 years. So I'll
That
take
could be a
This
league
is
winner right
Dynasty,
there.
baby.
Could be a league winner.
Dynasty.
Oh, I was just
Christian
saying.
Who has
Kirk.
AJ Green? I'm gonna offer a fourth for AJ
Snacks.
Green.
I offered something to you in one of our leagues. I think some kind of trade.
Did you?
Yeah, I think maybe it was what it
Was
did.
it one of the ones on Sleeper? Because I think I took my notifications off.
Yeah, it was something on Sleeper. I think it was what it do. It was something for. I don't even remember what the fuck it was, to be honest. I don't think it was.
Protects
Like,
muscle. That's right.
I don't think it was a haymaker, but
Is that another baseball, Snacks? What is that?
Nah, it's the same one. I gotta give it to Jack.
You didn't even get the guy the baseball yet? Terrible.
Well, I asked him for his address. He didn't give it to me.
all right, we got a couple more super chats. Let's run these. All right, Mike Rowe. What are some of your favorite stacks in a league that drafts stacks 2 players from a team each round outside the obvious? Wow, that's
Wait,
interesting.
what?
So each pick you have, you draft like the pick is 2 players, but it has to be from the same team.
I've seen those types of drafts where like you can only like you get.
So
a
like
team
for
each
instance,
round.
that last guy who picked, if we told him to take Zeke at 106, he'd be getting Zeke, and
With, like,
then he would get
Cooper?
like CeeDee Lamb or Cooper with him. I think we're reading that correctly. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
So I
Yeah.
guess-
What else is new?
I guess that would really come down to secondary players on the team and where the value jumps up from that. I guess let's see.
Waller.
Does your strategy change there then? Like, do you start avoiding first round guys that would normally go in the first round because the second best player on their team is like a 6th round pick, whereas like do
I think a lot of it.
do you
would
fade
probably
like
start with the
Jonathan
quarterback.
Taylor? Do you fade
He
Jonathan
said
Taylor
yes.
because you fade
Exactly.
Jonathan
Okay.
Taylor because like the next indie player is all the way down for a guy
Yeah.
like does fucking Gibson and McLaurin become first round picks because you get 2
Right.
Washington players? That's really
Right.
interesting.
I feel like all the good quarterbacks go first. Like you'd have like Allen
That's
Diggs,
very
Mahomes,
exotic.
I'm
Kelsey
assuming
or
in like a
Mahomes,
super
Hill.
flex leagues, yeah, those stacks probably go really quickly.
So those like so take out the top 5 quarterbacks. What's left that you would want to go?
Quarterbacks 6 through 32.
You just keep going quarterback stacks until
Oh
there's like
no,
nothing. But
I
like,
was just saying who that's what's left.
yeah, because like the Saints, like Alvin Kamara is like normally would be a first round pick, but you might not want to go with Kamara. You can go Kamara and Thomas maybe. Someone suggested that in
I
the
don't.
chat.
I don't hate
That's
that.
not bad at all. Now,
Yeah,
Then
I
you
don't
go
hate
for
that.
quarterback.
for the Chargers, do you go Eckler, Keenan, or do you go Herbert? Actually, I guess that doesn't make sense.
You got to go Herbert and Eckler.
Yeah, because they're higher, much higher value.
Yeah. That's interesting. That would be very fun to do, like live, trying to figure out, like, because you get into those like spots where you're like, oh,
What about this though? What if the sharp play is actually taking, okay, for like Seattle, you take Metcalf and Lockett, you leave Russ on the board because no one wants to waste a pick going Russ and Dwayne Eskridge. So he drops pretty far, right? Because you have to.
That's
well, yeah,
sharp.
you can destroy a player's value by doing
That's
that.
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't destroy your value with him. So that
No.
could be something you could start thinking about.
That's
actually.
like a chess, not checkers kind of game.
So
right
look for funnel offenses where someone wouldn't want the 3rd player on the team, but you would get the quarterback. So just like Lockett, Metcalf, you kind of monopolize that team. No one wants to use a full pick where you have to waste a pick on a guy like Russ. So I think that's something to consider as well.
Well,
Other
they
teams-
could get Russ and Carson still, so it wouldn't be that bad. But I see what you're saying. Yeah,
That's very true. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But
it wouldn't be that bad. But like, it's still like there's definitely things probably when you get to like the later rounds where it really will make a difference. Like the Rams will probably have a lot of players that I would try and stack because they have at least 4 or 5 that are good.
Yeah, you got to start going real big brain on this shit.
Like teams like the Bears are tough because you got DeMont and Allen Robinson. Then after that, everything's kind of a mystery. So like if you don't get those two, but then again, there's no value. No one's going for Dalton or Fields really anyway.
That's a wild fucking. So
it's pretty cool. I'm very fascinated in that.
Your team is made up of 16 players, and 8 of them are all on the same team. That's wild.
That would drive me nuts, but.
Super chat. Oh, that's from Cali Dog. Thank you, Jan. We love you.
I've seen those leagues. It's kind of similar to that, but it's like every round you get a different team assigned to you, and you can only draft the player from that team. Like, have you ever seen? Those are pretty fun. That would be like a cool redraft thing to do.
I don't think I've seen that.
Like every round, like you get assigned a random team. Like so, like you can only pick from the Bucks round 2, and then round 3 you can only pick from like the Lions, and then round 4 you can only pick a guy from the Ravens, and it's just you got to build your best team off of that. It's pretty cool. Definitely a lot of strategy involved and luck. What we got? Animal, when are you spending the night in the woods?
I think he's chickening out. No, we're not. You haven't even brought it up.
Yeah,
you haven't brought it up
soon.
It's supposed to be a league party, so I'm not going to go into the woods and be like, "Hey,
put it in the chat and find out when people are available."
Yeah, Animal, pick 3 dates.
You got to start finding out when people are available.
Pick 3 dates.
It's got to be a weekend. That's all I care about.
So pick 3 dates, 3 weekends, or whatever, and be like, is everyone good for these weekends? Is anyone not good for one of these weekends or something?
I'm not fucking organizing it.
Then you're just not going to do it then. All right, fair.
I'll go in the woods by myself and just say I did it then. If you want to do it that way. You guys organize the party. Let me know when it is. I'll come over and I'll go in the woods.
Off my board.
It's simple.
RKO. Keeper, 1 quarterback, half PPR. Keep 8. Wait, what? Okay, so keep 8.
Keep QBs.
Keep 8 players.
You keep 8, and it's an 1 quarterback league. All right, so off the rip, you're keeping all those running back. Oh wow, this is a ridiculous fucking team. I would literally keep everybody, all four Cook, running Taylor,
backs, and then AJB.
There's 5 running backs. That's the problem.
Oh, I didn't see JK.
You just have like an embarrassment of riches. You basically have to cut. You're cutting 2 quarterbacks for sure because those are replaceable.
If it's 1 quarterback, get them out.
You're taking. I almost want to say I'd keep all 5 running backs.
I would.
And then you're going to keep A.J. Brown. You're going to keep Michael Thomas probably.
No, I'm not keeping Sanders.
I would say that's reasonable if you want to go with.
I'll try and trade him for like a pick.
Yeah, I mean, if you could just trade him for other players, you could stack up like a Sanders and a Michael Thomas for like a top 5 wide receiver. See if you can stack one of those guys with Michael Thomas for like Tyreek Hill or some shit, and then you'll be pretty golden because that gives you -2 players.
Yeah, either go for like a 2-for-1 upgrade or like I don't know if there's picks in this. Get a pick. If no picks, then I'm getting rid of Sanders for sure.
Yeah, Sanders is easily the last ranked running back on that list. Yeah, I guess I would probably. I just feel like Sanders probably has a lot more upside than a guy like fucking Chris Godwin or something. So I'd rather have Sanders on my squad than him. But if you're going to have to narrow out 2 guys anyways, trade a 2-for-1 because you have so much fucking ammo. At the end of the day, though, those other guys like CD, Terry, Godwin will probably be almost like moot point per game kind of guys in your lineup.
Dude, fucking RKO just RKO'd his whole fucking league with this. Bang!
That's ridiculous.
Bang!
What else we got down here?
I'm looking at some. Got trade here. McCole Hardman for Brian Edwards at a second. Take Brian Edwards in the second.
Easily. I think I would give up McCole Hardman for a second straight up. So to add,
that's what I'm saying. Just take it for the second.
For
like
sure.
McCole Hardman, Brian Edwards at this point are on like the same trajectory. Like, are they going to be good or not? We don't know. So you can gamble with one of them and get a second in the meantime.
I would absolutely take the Edwards side there.
Yeah, it's easy. I'm really sharp. Throwback.
Kenny Galladay. Put the Kenny Galladay one up.
I didn't see where it was.
Eddie Gukowski. Great name.
Would you keep Miles Sanders in the 4th or Kyler Murray in the 5th in standard league?
Sanders.
In a standard league? Dude, I honestly might take Kyler there.
What do you guys think about Kenny Galladay? We saw... It's a good question.
Who cares about Kenny Galladay? I
Well,
would,
it's
I would
the
keep
one on
Kyler.
the one on the
That
board.
sounds dumb. I feel like is Sanders even going in the fourth now? Like, where does he go?
Yeah, he's going usually early fourth. Well, when you say standard league, I'm assuming you mean one quarterback. But if you mean standard scoring, I would almost definitely go with Kyler then. So I
Yeah.
feel like standard scoring favors one, like it's 4 point per passing touchdown favors rushing quarterbacks, which is Kyler. Non PPR also doesn't like favor quarterbacks, but it like helps them get back into the swing of things a little bit with the skill position players. And listen, we're at a point I feel like in fantasy where late round quarterback like might not be that good because some of the top end quarterbacks are scoring a fuckload of points. You know, like Lamar,
Yeah, well,
Mahomes,
it's the
Kyler,
year of the
Josh
quarterback.
Allen. Yeah,
You're
so
the quarterback, baby. I'm
I
back. I'm quarterback first, second round.
Kyler in the middle rounds seems actually like a pretty good pick, even in one quarterback leagues.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What do we think? Nah. Should be 3. Oh, here we go.
That's
Which
actually
of
a
the
good one. But
three-
you know what? Yannick actually asked a good question.
That's what I was just reading. Which of the 3 busts will
Yeah,
break
that's a
out
good
from
one.
last year between Ruggs, Rager, or Mims? So I guess who has the best chance to
Mims.
break out?
I like Ruggs here the most.
Mims.
Damn, look at us. Oh, I got Rager. As much as I hate the guy.
Rager?
As much
Rager
as I hate
sucks.
the guy, I think he just has the best chance with Devonta Smith there now, helping out, stretch the field a little bit, open up for Rager underneath.
I feel like that I feel like Smith coming in means he's auto wide receiver one there right away.
Who?
Devonta
Smith is.
Devontae.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Ruggs is like the only.
So then what?
Ruggs is
You
like
mean
the only
the wide
one-
receiver 2 over everyone else who's still fighting for wide receiver 4-3?
I don't think that's true. I feel like Ruggs is definitely the wide receiver 2 there at minimum.
Nah.
I think Gruden has heard all the fucking nonsense that people have been yelling at him, and he's the only one with a real quarterback that we know can throw the ball. And Derek Carr.
That is a good point. Yes, Derek
Mims
Carr
has
is
been,
the
like,
only
relegated
known,
to-
he's the only known commodity. Carr's the only known commodity of those 3 quarterbacks. He was booty, so was Rager. So what do you?
Rager was hurt, but yeah, he was butt. I didn't like him.
To be honest,
I think he has the best chance between those 3.
I said Mims because there's no way I was going to say Rager, and I just hate Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know
think
if
Mims
Mims is going to be a starter. To be honest with you guys,
I like
there's
Mims
good
a lot,
chance-
Taylor. I don't.
Have you not seen the reports
good
of
chance we're gonna
Mims,
see,
of Mims being like the wide receiver 4 or 5 on this team?
No, I
I
didn't
think
see
you're
that.
going to see like Elijah Mitchell, Keelan Cole, and like Jameson Crowder as the starting 3 guys.
Elijah Moore, but
I
yeah,
got a splinter. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think Mims is going to be the starter. If he does, he's going to play like 50% of the snaps. I think Ruggs has a real chance to be like an every down player, and if they actually try to use him correctly, which they acknowledge that they didn't, I feel like we could have a turnaround for Ruggs.
He was the
All right,
first
so I'm
receiver
on-
drafted last year, right?
Yeah, 12th overall.
This guy here,
Crazy.
Sharp. Ruggs is fast with no separation. That's right. He's booty.
Yeah, what does that make Jalen Rager?
He can separate.
Who is your preferred 2 running backs on the first, second round turn? All right, so say you're on like the 112, 2-1. You know, there's that section of dudes that you can take. Let's say it's like Eckler, Joe Mixon, I guess like Aaron Jones at this point, Clyde, Najee Harris. I'm hesitant to put Cam Akers because I feel like he'll go a little bit earlier than that, honestly, at this point. Who do you guys like the most out of that like group of?
Well, Eckler for sure. I'm gonna get burned. I've never been on his bandwagon, but for whatever reason, I like Mixon
baby.
this year. Yep.
I'm kind of in on Mixon again this year as well.
Yep.
Yo, I just wrote a poem about Mixon.
All right, I'm out.
It's all about how he's a fixin', you know.
How many fucking
something like
poems
that.
did you
I don't want to
write?
give too much away.
Is all you've been doing writing poems lately?
Yeah, I'm filming them right after this to send. I sent one to Tony last night, but I want to change my wardrobe.
Oh yeah, what about Gibson? Gibson in there.
Yeah, well, Eckler and Gibson probably. Well,
It's a nice little stack.
mm,
Gibson's upside kind of scares me. It's like just purely based off his athleticism, I feel like, but there's just so much in the way that might not work for him. The toe and J.D. McKissick still being there, like I don't know.
J.D. McKissick, I saw it today. He bulked up and he wants to be the lead back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's facts.
is that serious? That was actually like a thing you saw.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter. I swear, I
love
didn't just
that.
make that up. It was literally like J.D. McKissick bulked up and wants like more carries or something like that.
Okay.
All right, what do we think? Like 1 or 2 more? Snacks, I know you got a very important haircut. Your hair looks great, by the way, right now. So I'm not
Thank you,
sure.
thank you. No, I appreciate it, but I'm going back to that that skin tight on my head. I thought I looked pretty sexy with it.
I think you
You
look
did.
good with a little bit on top there. It could make
Really?
you
I feel like I look like a
too.
fucking cunt.
Nah, well,
You usually do. That's baseline. Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I got a big day tomorrow.
But
so
you look like a proper cunt. What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm going to a party,
Where?
Washington Township.
With who? Whose party? Don't
worry
be
about
fucking snide here. No. I want to know the details.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried. I'm scared.
None of your business. You should be scared.
Is it like a high school party, Snacks?
No, it's not a fucking high school party. I wish.
Yeah. I was going to say, you fucking wish it was.
Yeah, because they're fun. You know what I love about high school girls? I get older and they stay the same age.
Yikes.
No, yeah. We're just going to pretend that's not from a movie.
I know what movie it's from.
The ginger is hot. He definitely has a huge hot dog.
We got someone from Township in the chat. They want to know where
Township, New Jersey?
they want to know where the party's at.
There's 2 Washington Townships in New Jersey, though, so be careful.
That's true. There is 2 Washington Townships.
Yeah, there's one out west.
What happened to that? Oh, never mind.
You didn't hear?
I wasn't paying attention, but yes, now I hear.
Blow it out, buddy. Blow it out.
It's gone. Let's see. All right. I think that's it, right? We got no
Probably.
more anything. No one else.
Probably ordered a hooker.
Okay, A plus. Why don't you DM me on Twitter so I could send you pictures of the big fucking party tomorrow? You are creepy, Snack. You know, shit. We're all creepy. You're probably a fucking creep too. I can guarantee you that. God, it's from the movie Dazed and Confused. This fool lying. What is a fool?
This is starting to get out of hand.
Oh,
Like a fool.
Fool.
All right. I think we should wrap it. We should wrap it up.
I agree.
Yeah, I know. I got it. It took me a second. I'm starting to lag anyway.
Animal,
so.
take us home.
Oh, that's it. I got nothing else to say. Make sure you like the video.
Country roads,
subscribe to the channel.
Take
And,
me home
See you next
to
week.
a place I belong, West Virginia.
All right, good night. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you later. Bye.
Peace.